Page 24, Prelude in C major. Introducing another ornament called a mordent. It's a little squiggle with a line through it. People don't agree on mordents either. They don't agree on much of anything as far as music goes, let alone ornaments. There's a big disagreement on ornaments. In the mordent, you're simply playing the note in the music and the next note down in the key. And if they want to change it in some way, then they'd put an accidental above the mordent to tell you that the next note, the little note, the next note down is changed. If they want to change the main note, they put the accidental in front of the note. Don't worry about it. Just play the next note down in the key. And we're talking natural minor if it's in minor. I'll talk more about the mordents when I get to them, the articulation part of the lesson. So I'll look it over. It's a little over a page long. Treble bass clef, no sharps or flats in the key signature. This is in the key of C major. Do these scales and arpeggios for C major and A minor. Common time or 4/4 time. Let's take a look at the right hand. It's just broken chords. If you take all the notes in the first measure, it's just a C7 chord, a C chord with a 7th added, minor 7th. And it's 1 and 2. I like this fingering. See, they have multiple voices going on. That's why they're doing some of the stems the way they're doing them. Look at the top of page 25. You have a half note, and then here, they want you to connect that. You can't connect this very well. So here, hang on to that and here. Can you do that? Don't lift up. No. And then on this one, they want you to connect the A to the here. What you've done is here, that. So it's, and then for the going on is 2, 4, 5 on that. It's important you be able to do that sort of thing. So very slowly, at the beginning of that line, it's a half note, and then the quarter note to the half note, connect the top note, and then again, change the fingering here. The repeated notes I can change on repeated notes. Now I'm going to connect the bottom note. Lift up one nose and connect that. At the end of the line, you see each of those quarter notes, the stem going up, stem going down. They're still showing you two voices. And then in the next line, that half note C, it has a stem going up and a stem going down. Well, that indicates that both voices are doing the same note. They're both resolved. And then going on here, now second line, first measure, the quarter note. If you don't want to finger at 1, 3, 5, you can do a 2, 4, 5. This way your thumb is ready to go on here. 1 and 2. That's probably better if you fingered it that way. All it is an A minor chord extended. We're just not playing the C. 1 and 2. Okay. Last line. Here. The 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2. This is like a C major scale, sort of. If you can do the scale well, you'll be able to do these runs well. And we're just not using the fingering necessarily for a scale. We're doing 1, 2, 3, or 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3. But don't think of it as 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, because that'll knock off it'll mess up the natural accents. It's got to be 1 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4. It helps you put a little accent on them, like you do in the scales. And if you have to slow it way down, do every other note. Let the wrist collapse a little bit. And then try 3 of them. It doesn't come out quite right, but the idea is You can accent any note with any finger at any time. And when you can do that, you'll have the control. And then connect all of this at the end. Except the E, you can't. Connect the top. Left hand. Well, the left hand's just got it. Playing C's and hanging on. Then the top of page 25, it's got it. I like this fingering. However, in the second measure, I would still use a 4. Use a 3 at first, and then a 4. Because I figure that chord that way, not that way. Some teachers obviously teach that, but I teach 4. And then rest. Okay, put the hands together. Now, well, it's not bad at the beginning because the left hand's just holding down. Let's go to the top page 25. You're here at 1. Here. When I play the third beat, the right hand comes up. 1. The first measure, the second line on page 25. And it isn't, it's a G. Put the hands together, and then I'll go back over it maybe a line or so at a time and work out the hesitations slowly. Then I add the articulation and these ornaments. This is very connected, and it's very common in Bach and others. You'll notice at the beginning the phrase starts with a rest. It's here and then it goes. It's going to do that throughout. So the phrase is going to start on the end of 1. 1 and. 1 and. Here. It's going to do that throughout. And very common with Bach. So you just lift up, just a slight lift. All the way through, I'm lifting up for the phrasing. Same thing in the left hand, top page 23. Lift up for the phrasing. Then let's talk about these mordents. Page 25, second line, last measure. They have them in the left hand. It shows it above the note. You're going to play the note in the music, the G. You're going to play the next note down in the scale, which would be an F, and then that note again. And I believe there's a mistake in the music here. They're indicating the little notes under the stabs. They're writing out the notes for you. They're indicating F sharps. And it would sort of make sense because in this passage, we happen to be in the key of G major. G major has an F sharp. You had an F sharp in the measure before. Here. So you're in F sharp. However, it should indicate a sharp sign above the mordent or under the mordent, somewhere in there, indicating that the second note or the auxiliary note is a sharp. Because the key signature says it's a natural, it should be a natural. So in my opinion, the music is inaccurate, is incorrect. Now they're showing 2 ways of playing the mordent. You can do that real quick. I'm going to do the F sharp because they wrote it in. I assume that's what they want. Or if you can't do that, if it just isn't working, then play them at the same time and let up on the F sharp. Just be careful not to play it quick. No, that's a different ornament. They go down at the same time. Just lift up. Or another possibility, if that's not working or you don't like it, leave out the ornament. Ornaments, generally speaking, are all optional anyway. A lot of times the composer didn't actually write them in the music, although Bach did. He was pretty picky about his ornaments. Now, in the third line, you see the simile there. Simile means keep doing whatever you're doing. And what it applies to depends on where it is in the music. Well, if we look here, it's between the staves, close to the bottom staff. So what's going on? You have to find what was happening that's not happening anymore. And that's the ornament. Here, they showed them on the one measure, and then they stopped showing them. Well, simile means just keep doing them. Keep doing the ornament. There is a footnote at next to the last measure on the quarter note, the last beat. You can put in a little trill. Start with the upper note here, and you got to do that note here. You can put in a turn there also, because you slowed down. Because you slowed down. It says polka retard, but I think you can do a full retard there. That's interpretation. You don't have to do a trill at the end, or you can just do the little trill if you want. And if this doesn't work, because they're awkward fingers, I'm just rotating here. I'm just passing away from finger to finger. Then use third finger if you can reach that. Still awkward, but not quite as much. Or just leave it out. Or just do that. If you do that, the three note kind of comes on the first half of the beat. One and, one and, one and, one and, two and, three and, four and. That's the way you would do that. Otherwise, it's 4 and. I'll leave that up to you and what your little fingers can do. Then once I have the articulation out of the way, I think about the dynamics. This is going to start, so it applies to whatever has the melody, or whatever has the eighth notes. And you're going to go up to loud, but don't get loud until the top of page 25. So it's like each measure there at the bottom of page 24 is going to get a little louder. Here, up a little bit, a little bit. Now I'm loud. Here. I'm staying loud. And then the second line will come down. So follow the dynamics. And then the speed. Well, it depends on how quickly you can play your 16th notes accurately. Allegro moderato, it's moderately quick, it's not quick. And that's the feel of it. That feels fast to me. I go. Somehow that feels a little better. Something in there. I'd have to practice this to play it a little better. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what it sounds like, although you can probably find recordings of this. This is just a little bit of it, I think. I don't remember. It's been too long since I've done Bach, but I'm sure you can find recordings of this, people who play it better than I do.